Hi, welcome to A Picasso Designs. I'm A Picasso, so let's get designing. Thank you for joining me for Inktober day number 4. Today's prompts were a combination of Mothman and underwater. This year of Inktober, I decided to combine prompts from the official Inktober prompt list and mabsdrawlloweenclub prompt list. So it's been a little difficult here and there, but it's been a fun challenge. I don't know if I'll do this again next year, but this year I'm trying my best. So here I am inking my Mothman underwater. This is the best I can come up with, and it actually turned out really cute. And I decided this year I'm also going to do just black and white. I've been doing colors for the past 2 years with my Copics, and I said let's go back to the basics, black and white. I decided yes, I will use red in this one just for accent. I think the only other color I will use all month is red, only for an accent. Here I am just using washes for ink because I do have proper ink. I do have proper ink quills, though I do prefer using Microns. I feel like I have more control and it's just much more comfortable. My lines are better and it's just overall a better look. I also decided to put this on watercolor paper because I wanted to take it out of the sketchbook. I usually do an Inktober sketchbook, and I decided I'm going to take it out and do it on a nice piece of paper because I want this to be a really nice illustration. Here's when I started putting the wash on the wings, and I was having trouble with the ink. I felt like it just wasn't giving me the desired results. And I didn't know how to fix it. I was getting frustrated. I'm like, this is just going to be a bad piece. I just have to deal with it being not one of my favorites. And I was like, well, you know what? Let me use this brush pen to do the solid black. And like, it's right about here. I'm still coloring in, but I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking to myself, it was such a cute drawing. I don't want to make this one of my least favorites. So, no, I'm throwing it away. And I decided, let's do it the way I love to do it. We're going to do it on our mixed media paper. I'm going to ink it really nicely, and maybe I'll color it in with marker, which is a form of ink, which is not a cheat, but is something I'm more comfortable with, which kind of feels like a cheat because I wanted to experiment with regular traditional ink, fountain ink. But it just, in order for me to get something I really liked, and I really liked this sketch to begin with, I needed to have more control. So I went this route. And to be totally honest, it was the beginning of something great, because after this, mostly, I have just taken every drawing out of the sketchbook and made small little 7x10 mixed media pieces, either adding a grayscale black and white marker or simply doing just Micron pens, maybe some stippling or cross hatching with a bit of red when it is needed to accentuate the piece. Coming into this Mothman underwater idea, I really had no clue. I was about to give up and be like, I'm not doing a combo you know, this is impossible. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to make him chibi, super kawaii, and I'll love it then. I'll just make it totally... I'll just put him underneath. Put him in the water. He doesn't know what he's doing there. He fell underwater with the fishes. And it'll be fine. I'll just move on to the next day and everything will be great. And then I drew him and I loved it. I'm so thankful I kept on going with the double prompt. Even though it's been really hard and a little frustrating at times, I'm glad I've done it. I wanted to challenge myself a little more, and that's what I got. I got a little bit more challenge. Here I'm starting to do the colors, which I decided, you know what, if I'm going to use markers, I'm going to keep it black and white, a grayscale. And unfortunately, my Copic collection is not huge. It's gotten a nice size to it. It's okay. But as far as gray tones go, I have one gray Copic. And I bought that one. And after I bought it, I was like, I just want to get sets of the gray. It'll be so much easier this way. I just get sets, which are really expensive, but I think it'd be better that way. So I haven't bought another gray. I've been trying to save up for a set, and I always end up buying something else and haven't bought Copics in a while. So I have this set of Prismacolor's Cool Grays that I used in school a long time ago. I think the only projects I ever used these for were my, what class was that? Perspective, in my perspective class. Because you were just supposed to use grays to help show perspective, pens and grays. So, it really hasn't been used since that class, and that was, perspective was my first or second semester there. So hopefully these will last the whole entire Inktober and not get all used up. And most of the reference that I saw for Mothman, he was a solid black, and I considered making him solid black, but I just, I don't know. I'm afraid to go all black with things, and I was afraid of messing it up. And in retrospect, I kind of regret not getting a scan of the line work, because it was just such, I loved the line work so much. And then after it's colored, I mean, I like the way it came out. I just wish I would have had the line work as available to me so that I could perhaps mess with it digitally later on, or color it again, but with the full spectrum of colors at my own leisure. Maybe another video. So I think that's my one regret in doing this piece, is that I didn't scan the line work. I think I'm gonna learn from that. If I really like the line work on something, after I'm done, I need to scan it. Because I never know when I might want to come back to it. A lot of times I'll do a sketch. Most of the times I'll do a sketch, and I'll do it too small for the size I want it. So I'll scan it into the computer, and I'll resize it. I'll print out the new size, and use my light box to transfer it onto the mixed media paper or whatever paper I'm using. And so I kind of have like a line backup. But with the Mothman one, I really don't think I have a line backup. I know I didn't scan it into the computer. I think I just drew directly on there, referencing a small doodle I did in my practice sketchbook. So maybe I can recreate it. Maybe if I scan it in with the gray colors, I can find a way to separate the line work, but I'm not that apt in Photoshop. I mean, I'm okay. I prefer using Illustrator. Photoshop has always been kind of elusive to me, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I decided, though, instead of going black for the Mothman, that I would go like one of the darkest percentages. I think it's 70, might be 80, because I think the background plants there in the back, like the silhouetted ones, I think those were 90%. And then to top it all off, I decided, it needs to be great. The water needs to have a color to it. It can't just stay white. So I was like, I think I took, that can't be 10. 10 is the sand. I did 10% on the sand. It's got to be 20%. 20% in the background. Oh, when I'm talking about percentage, I'm like, with these markers, they go 90% gray, 80% gray, and so on, all through 90 through 10%, and then black is like 100%. So that's what I mean when I say percentage. And bubbles, I love bubbles. You guys will see I put bubbles and everything when I can't think of anything else to do. So being underwater, I was like, bubbles is expected, so it's okay if I add a bunch. And then here I go in with a white gel pen, which I love white gel pens. They help bring little accents to everything, to all my little marker drawings. I just love using it. And I use Jelly Roll gel pens because I feel like they're the most juicy. They roll really well, Jelly Roll. And then finally I was like, yeah, I'm going to do the eye. I'm going to add the red. And I was going to fill it in completely, but then I really like the sketchy look of just lines. So I was like, yeah, that's it. That's perfect. Thank you guys for watching. Just adding a few details to the fish. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this speed paint and my rambling, because that's all I do is ramble. Maybe I'll find a subject to actually talk about in the next video. Bye you guys, and happy Inktober.